Hey there, friend. How you doing? Welcome to Soulvine. This is Jamie, and we're checking in for our Pisces. So let's see what is going on. Sun, Moon, and Rising will be the most dominant, but you can check in for any placement, see what resonates for you. This is a general read, so we'll tap into the energy of the collective here and see what Spirit wants you to know. There could be a message specifically for you, so stay connected and stay tuned. For that. Let's get into it, Pisces. I've just cut the deck. Let me just tap that. Okay, and let's see what the main energy is coming through right now. We've got the Three of Inspiration. So it seems like some plans or something that you've been putting together here wants to move forward or is about to kind of crack that door of the momentum, moving forward. I think a big part here is the action that you're taking towards something here right now. It seems though you do have the Nine of Voices, and I'm going to apologize if I'm making some noises. I have come down with, I think I'm getting a head cold, sore throat, sore head, and I'm really just trying to soldier on at the moment and hoping it just goes away. But we'll see. I had a margarita with some salt on the rim, so I'm hoping that was earlier today. So I'm just hoping that that might fix it. Some salt for the throat. Anyway, moving on here. So the Nine of Voices. There's something here that may be challenging this movement forward. Okay, it could be some worry that you have or some worry that someone around you is also perhaps putting on about this step forward here. But there's definitely some challenging energy around the thoughts and the stresses that come with this situation. Influencing this right now is the Two of Materials. There seems to be something here about whether you can perhaps manage it all, or wondering how this is going to work out. Can you get to a place of, we're working we can do this. There just could be a few things that you're juggling at the moment that you need. It feels like you need to manage. And I do feel there's more energies around you. So there could be people, it's been coming up a lot actually this last week. Pardon me, like people that you're been either looking after, or there's something around people and other energies that you're working with right now, as a matter of a care factor here. Just a quick side note, because I've noticed there are more bookings coming through, which is fantastic for the private sessions. That's wonderful, guys. Just to let you know, it's about a 5 business day turnaround at the moment with the readings that we have in play. And if you haven't already, there is an email below that you need to contact me on once you've processed the request. And just let me know what guidance that you seek. Okay, Pisces. The past that's showing up here in terms of how things are reflecting, impacting right now, you do have the 7 of Emotions and the 3 of Emotions. So this is Cups energy. Combined, this is a 10 of Cups energy if we add them together. But if we look at these energies separately and how they're coming together, there is something here that I think have always wondered how something could potentially work out, towards maybe in your favor, but maybe there was a situation that you've been in or have identified or recognized over the last couple of years, because it feels like a couple of years energy, wondering how is it going to come into play? How is it going to work out? How do you get to that place of, connection, fulfillment? I feel, again, this is about something that you either wanted to achieve, pursue, create, or bring together. For yourself, maybe for your family, whatever that core thing is that is on your mind right now. It is something that matters deeply. It is something that, when you're in it, when you're together, or when you're around this thing that matters to you, there's no doubt here it is of happiness. It is a beautiful connection that is here. But I think it's also been something that hasn't been maybe directly connected all the time, or maybe it hasn't, flourished or become that just fully connected in or fully grounded in, But I feel like when you're doing this thing, or when you're with these people, or this whatever the dynamic is about the situation, when you're in it, it feels good. But I think there's been a lot of, you haven't been sure how it's going to evolve, or how it's going to, stay connected. And I think that's been on your mind. And what you're starting to see, like I said, which I'll just mention again, it's a 10. It's coming into the 10 of cups. So I feel this is going to move into a place of where you feel connected, where you feel happy, and are finally receiving that part of yourself in wholeness around this matter. So I quite like that. Interestingly, you do have the 5 of voices here that's in your headspace. So you could be, as humans, and we sometimes do, and maybe sometimes in the shower, is that we play things over and over in our head, maybe internal conflict around a situation, or maybe someone wants to reach out and make something okay. And whatever that is, it seems like that's what's on your mind, or that's what's coming into play, into motion right now. I mean, we do have the 9 of voices sitting in the challenge position. So there is something here that's either stressing you or stressing, has you overthinking about a certain matter. And it may not be like, don't think of it as a constant, but it could be something that you think about often, or when, something shows up where it is challenging, or where it is conflicting. It's like, I think if someone has challenged you and created conflict for you, I think the way this seems is like you're bothered by it, but at the same time, if this person just approached you and just dealt with the situation and was mature enough to deal with the situation, you'd probably engage and have a conversation. But I think it's just like, at the same time, I think you got to a point where you don't give a shit, but there are things about it that matter to you. And it's also, I think it could be a reflection or projection of someone else's, of their own stresses that are coming through as well and putting on you. In terms of what's coming up next, near future, you do have the Queen of Inspiration. The Queen of Inspiration, I quite like the energy because it's one that's very connected to what's going on in their surroundings, but also quite creative, determined, focused on the things that, energetically wanting to achieve. And I think there's also a part of the energy you carry around this. People are attracted to it. They feel supported by it. There's a little fierceness to it. But again, there's this glue energy of people and things that when you're around this energy, it's a feel good energy. But this person or this, situation, because could be you that's embodying this, right? Importantly, Pisces, is I just feel like there's a lot more certainty in who you are, a bit more out loud. And what I mean by that is just how you're carrying yourself. You're happy to show up in the energy that you are. I feel like you're a bit more, the word that's coming in is abrasive, but that's probably how people are seeing it, because I think people are used to you just being this gentle, compassionate, loving energy that just, just deals with whatever's in front of you. You're probably not, I don't think that you're confronting or problematic, but I think you're getting to a place of you're going to express things as you need to express things, and you're going to show up in your confidence and in your powerful place of where you're going and what you're doing. And the reason you know where you're going is because this is what's moving forward. There's been a change of direction and in the way things are falling. That's what this feels like. And it's part of you claiming back your power too. And I think some people probably just don't like that, and that's their problem, not yours to carry, right? Let's have a look at your power in this situation. We've got 2 energies. Okay, so you got the Star energy and the 4 of voices. So there's definitely a lot of healing aspects. The Star energy is Aquarian energy. So if it has been in relation to, I think something, just give me 1 second. I've got the astrology chart in my head at the moment for Pisces and where Aquarius sits for you. So there could be a lot right now because there's the North Node in Aquarius, and if I'm going off Pisces rising, okay? So, this is in an energy of creativity and openness, but also in a place of acknowledging where you have perhaps at parts dismissed your intuition or dismissed things that you can't see but you know are there. So I feel like what's happening now is you're getting to a place of being super clear in where you're heading, in your trajectory and what matters to you. But importantly too, what you're not willing to tolerate anymore. There's a different breakaway that you're bringing to this situation, or to a person, to something. And the breakaway just seems more about, again, I just feel like you're not truly fussed over not necessarily what's happening, but the behavior of other people. I feel you're just not entertaining it anymore. I feel you're pretty clear on who you are, what you're going after, and the things that you desire, right? And I think ultimately, and at the end of the day, there are just some aspects here that you can finally step into and take that breath and take that mode of either just not engaging with certain people in certain situations unless it's aligned to what this is about. And I feel if people can't come to the plate, come to the party, come to the table with that energy, it's just like, I'm not going to entertain anymore. I'm not participating in that anymore. I'm piecing out to the nonsense, and I'm only driving and staying focused on what this star energy is for you, what that true north, what that guidance is for you. Because I find that interesting, because the star energy is Aquarian energy, but it's also your true north, where you're focusing, and you've also got North Node in there right now, or coming in there. So I feel like this is a very strong place that you're stepping into when it comes to your power. And I think this fierce energy that you're bringing, that's a little bit more out loud, I think is going to challenge others, but that's not on you. I think if you keep holding that balance between that beautiful Piscean energy that you are, look what's on the bottom of the deck, the sun energy. I just feel naturally that, again, how you are presenting yourself, I think I just keep getting this week, and I keep hearing it over and over. Mind you guys, I've tried to do 2 readings for you last week and they just wouldn't upload, so I apologize. That's why there's been a bit of a delay. But I do feel like the tables have turned. That's what this feels like here. And that's why you're just like, I'm just not engaging in the way that perhaps someone wants to anymore. Because this is what's happening. This is in your environment, and this is about your place of growth, expansion, and what matters to you. And that's where the focus and energy is truly going. Maybe there is something on the home front, or something around your home, or something around, securing something solid that allows you to create this. It feels abundant, whatever this is. It feels abundant, it feels good. And I feel the more that you're bringing this in, the more full this will feed you. If that makes sense. I just feel like there's a vacuum of energy right now, because the more that you're in this energy, and the people and the things and the appreciation and the goals and the direction that you're going, this just keeps growing, getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It keeps getting fed to expand. And I feel that's a wonderful thing. So again, the more you stay focused, the more you cut out the things that aren't supporting you, I feel the less burden you will carry, and more openness and growth that you will have as well, because you got a certain direction. I think keeping that in mind is important. Hopes and fears is a 6 of materials. There could be some part, it doesn't mean necessarily we're getting straight to the 10 of materials, but what this is, like I said, there's some expansion going on around what that 10 of materials means to you, what those pentacles, that foundation, that, like I said, that success. There definitely could be a very strong growth and financial focus, and maybe that's something that you're balancing right now. And there could be some concern here after some struggles. Can you really get to this this creative, fulfilling new beginning? Because I do feel there's some new energy here. And with this, you've got a large pentacle just sitting here with the 5 sitting on top. So I feel there's been a shift, or there is a shift around your finances, or around your stability, around your earnings, or around the home front. That could be, again, strongly what's happening here. And you just want to know, who doesn't, right? That you're supported, or that what you need will just always arrive. And I feel Pisces. That's something you can count on if you keep advocating for yourself, and doing what you need to do for you. It's not sitting and just hoping and wishing. It's staying active. And I really feel your energy is very strong, very powerful right now. So keep stepping into that, because it feels like I just feel like everything's going to be okay, even if there are some bumps. I just feel like you're turning, a different way. Interesting. We had the Five of Materials come out. So this is moving towards the outcome. What else do we need to know? So we've got the Five of Materials to the Four of Inspiration. What else do we need to know about this? There's definitely some loss here. Yeah. There's definitely some loss here. So maybe there has been some loss, or been some financial burden, or been some withdrawal of some kind when it's come to the home front. There seems to have been a potential disruption, or someone's feeling definitely at a loss. But I think someone made a decision, took a form of action. This may not be you, Pisces. This could just be the domino effect of it. And we have the dominoes there. So yeah, they're just I feel someone has some regret of something that they did here. What else do we need to know of this Five of Materials? Yeah. Something's changing. So if there has been, like I said, money's been a concern, your job, something about your finances, around home, or around creating and building something, this is going to change. I feel right now, again, a big part of this awakening energy, this is the judgment call. And I feel like making decisions right now, again, in alignment, because this is your power of what that goal is, what that ambition is, what that North Star is. The more that you stay aligned to that and drive that forward, that's where you'll start seeing really this continue to expand. Anything else that we need to know here? You've got the Hermit energy. One more, thank you, Spirit. And then you've got the Ace of Emotions, so Ace of Cups energy. So when we get into this, when it comes to what else you need to know, I think a big part, again, is sometimes you don't always need to have the answers, Pisces. I think, you're a very spiritual being. I mean, we all are, but there's a different depth to you, as you know. There's a different depth. There's a different way you carry yourself. There's a different way that you make people feel, and you're very connected to everything that's going around you. And I feel sometimes when you're navigating that for yourself, there can be these challenging elements, because you're a lot harder probably on yourself, wanting to know that, well, if I can somehow, help understand and navigate, intuitively guide other people, how do I do this best for myself? Because like anything, I think sometimes it's easy to give advice, and then sometimes when it's for yourself, it's just not as easy. And there's something about that, about what this new beginning is, what this new beginning looks like. And you don't need to have all the answers. I feel with the Hermit energy, it is, sometimes about how you navigate change, how you navigate what's next, but you don't need all the answers. I think it's just, what do I need today? How do I want to hold today and carry myself today? How do I want to support those that I love today? What are activities or actions I can do that can help me get me closer? And I think it's just the allowance of, I know I say that a lot about the allowance of, but it is the allowance of, do what you got to do and allow the universe to give you feedback. Sometimes there's no's, sometimes there's rejection, sometimes there's disappointment, sometimes there's letdown, and sometimes there's yes, it's you're welcome, here's a gift, I want you, whatever it is. Like, it doesn't, there's opportunity here, and there's beautiful opportunity of connection and a new beginning, and feeling at home, and feeling just really great about who you are and who you're doing certain things with, And I feel like if you're waiting for something wonderful to present itself, it will. I think a big part is there is still moments in time where you do need to kind of pull back, or you do need to acknowledge what is for you and what is not for you. And what, again, brings and gets you most connected to feeling like, I just feel like when you connect with something or someone and how it makes you feel. And sometimes it's not good to be led by our feelings. first and foremost of all things. I think it's important, to connect into your intuition, but there's also sometimes a methodical way or a logical insight that we also need to balance that out. Ultimately, though, you do know when you connect into your energy what you are connected to and what you're not. And I think it's really important to be curious and to lead with that and see where it takes you. I hope you understand what I mean by that, because I'm not knocking feeling, because I think feeling is very important. Your body tells you a lot. Your nervous system tells you a lot. But you can't ignore feeling and action, words and action, if that makes sense. So this is a key component here of being connected to that. I'm just going to get a couple of Kipper cards here on something further that you may need to know about this dynamic as you're working through it for our Pisces. Thank you. What else do they need to know that they can't see right now? One more. Thank you. One more. Okay. So you've got message of concern, community, and then coffin. Something's changing for someone, and I don't think perhaps that they may like it. Community could be family, your local environment, work, whatever else. If there has been challenging conversations, conflict of some kind, and you're just trying to manage it, like I said, and do what you got to do to get through this next phase, this next chapter, stay focused on what you need to stay focused on. There is something here that is coming to a close or coming to an end or is going to change. That message of concern, I feel, is going to, because you've also got the death energy here too with this Five of Materials. I feel like things are really steering in a very different direction. And this different direction is one that's going to give you the support and the strength that you need in a way of following your goals, following what matters to you most right now to get you closer, Pisces. So if you are getting people interrupting things and situations, sometimes it's best not to engage. Sometimes it's best just to leave things quiet and stay focused on yourself and where you're going. Final messages, the door cards. So this one is called a silent skill. And as we said, no contact, stay quiet, sometimes is the way forward. I challenge you to unpack your mind in meditation's grace. The soul can unwind. Breathe in, breathe out, let go of doubt. That's also a little bit with the hermit energy. So again, I think there's something a little more that you're going to find that's going to awaken here for you. So where you've been hiding, where you've been trying to keep safe, this one is called a healing heart. Mourning now has had its time. Do not pay it a single dime. Emerge from the darkness, a new day starts. Let light embrace the healing heart. And I feel a little bit from this past energy, again, there's been something that you've been seeking on how to get back to this place of connection or place of love or place of people that really matter to you, or something that you enjoy doing that really matters to you. Something is definitely shifting here, Pisces, around that subject matter that's on your mind or on your heart right now. There is some requirement, I do feel, from you to keep staying in this bold energy and keep moving forward in that thing. Pushing that forward is going to be a key part to that, because it is going to expand. It is going to level up quite significantly, and your energy around that is what's going to help expand the activities, the goals, staying focused, being creative in perhaps even different ways. But financially, I feel you are going to be supported. There is a change on that front, if that is something that's been strongly on your mind also. But if you've had some people interfering, challenging circumstance, again, I think there is a part of just allowing them to do what they are going to do, because there's nothing you can do about it, sometimes, subject to, if you do need further help and, and need to contact certain people to have that managed appropriately. But ultimately, if it's just naggy people just trying to challenge or cause a little bit of trouble, shutting them out is going to be key for that. Shutting them out from your energy, shutting them out from contacting you, whatever that means. I think that's going to be important. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you're doing well. I need to grab a tissue. Anyway, I'll catch you later. Bye now.